What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fomo Factory. Today I would like to go over the comments that you guys gave on the channel to review your altcoins that you request, to see what's going on in crypto with your portfolio, etc. So if you like the content already, like the content. Shout out to the Patreon subscribers right there. I'm messing it up. There's a link down below where you can see a lot of exclusive content. Now let's get right into it. So someone says, do you think that there will come a recession in the US, that if there will come a recession in the US, that Bitcoin will have a new all-time low? Well, that's really hard to say. That's not really that predictable. I do think that there will be a recession in the US, and I do think that that will cause Bitcoin to go a lot lower. I also think that that will cause the start of a bull run, because the Fed has to print, of course, so when there's a recession, and that could give us the final capitulation, which will make us go up eventually. I was just checking out Bitcoin anyway. What could Bitcoin do? Well, like I said, Bitcoin is very seasonality able. How do you call that? Right? In the pre-halving year, we always first we go up and then we go down. In the year before, the pre-halving year before that as well. Now, first half of the year we went up. Second half of the year came, and what happened? Basically, immediately we went down. Now, some key levels that we can take a look at. Well, this $25,000 level is quite of a big level, but anywhere around 21 as well. I'm pretty sure we do not see a new low, but bro, sorry man, I can be wrong about that. I don't know, because it will be exceptional, right? If we now see a new low, that will be completely exceptional, but it doesn't mean it can't happen. And what's quite funny is that if you draw this Fibonacci tool over it, the minus 1.618 is sitting at 14K. Okay, now what I've noticed, that if you draw a line right here, where does that line end up? Exactly here. All right, that's quite funny, right? That we end up exactly in the 2019 run up of that pre-halving year before we went down. That if we see a new low, then that would be the low, in my opinion. We can have wicks below, of course, but that's if we see a new low. And I'm not so convinced about that. But you don't know. It's crypto. Crypto, has a way of surprising us all, right? Are you worried that the altcoin that you bought will get sued by the SEC? Is there something to worry about, or not that much? You mean in general that if I'm worried that if I buy an altcoin that it will get sued by the SEC? I'm not really spending time on that, to be honest. Why? Let me get rid of this thing. It's freaking. But why? Because I look at charts, right? And if I look at charts, for example, I look at AVAX, right? AVAX, for example. And what do I see at AVAX? I see that AVAX is likely to go down here on its Bitcoin pair. Bitcoin is likely to drop. So the AVAX support level is probably around $4 or $5. Well, what the narrative is going to be is that the SEC might do something. I don't know in this specific case about AVAX, but I just look at the charts and I see a very low entry anyway. And yeah, the thesis that might back it up is the SEC, for example. Matic, right? If you look at Matic on its Bitcoin pair, right? Giant distribution phase, if you ask me. I mean, we have their accumulation phase, we have the uptrend, we have a big ass distribution phase. Yeah, and then usually there comes a huge downtrend, right? Before you go into accumulation phase again. And that's on the Bitcoin pair, right? Because if altcoins bottom on the dollar pair or whatever, it could take a year before they bottom on the Bitcoin pair. So I'm not saying that it will take like 2 years before we can finally buy Matic. although on its dollar pair it's like, well, it's already going down, by the way. Can you help me figure out how to buy WDYM? Yeah, I just shot a video about that. We'll release it pretty soon. I'm happy I've been listening to you and stopped buying altcoins a couple of months ago. Congratulations. I'm very happy that I could save some people from that, because yeah, it again shows that altcoins don't do that well. So yeah, when you have time to pay attention to Hodge Finance and Reef, they are both down, big potential. Reef, yeah, I invested in Reef in 2021 or something. Reef Finance, is it still there though? Reef, man, that was a long time ago. Are they still working and building? Yeah. Oh, it's down a lot. Yeah. Take a look. Reef. I'm not so sure about that, man. Went from $600 million market cap to 30, but it keeps on putting in low lows, right? Not too long ago, it was sitting at 60, 70, and it's now 30. So as long as it's doing that, I'm not that interested, to be honest. Hodge, however you call that. Tokenomics good, no trading volume though, so I don't know what happened, but it's not really doing anything. Market cap, it went from 300 million to 4 million. Oh, didn't it die? Looks dead. Doesn't look that good. I would be very careful with this if I were you. So okay. Okay, let me take a look. Bitcoin dominance is crashing now, and yet alts are still chilling. What could happen? BTC recovers slightly, Bitcoin dominance recovers up, alts then take a nap. Yeah, well, nah, it's not that the Bitcoin dominance is crashing. I mean, look, this is the chart, right? Do you call this a crash, or do you call this just a movement to the downside to cool off before it goes up even further? I don't consider this a crash. And yeah, like I said before, it's very likely that it finally broke this area where we had resistance for 2 years. We have to test it as support at some point, right? And it looks that that point is coming. So yeah, it could go here. It could go all the way down to 47%, while Bitcoin is indeed on its way down. And as soon as indeed Bitcoin goes up even further, or Bitcoin has a pullback to the upside, can you call it like that, whatever, that the Bitcoin dominance continue to go up and altcoins keep on bleeding against their Bitcoin pair. Against Bitcoin, altcoins are now doing pretty okay in the short term, right? Sorry for all these drawings, but it's doing well. However, if we take a look at, this is the Fibonacci tool for the altcoin market, basically on its Bitcoin pair. And what I notice is that it's sitting right at the golden zone, right? So this is the golden zone. And we had that here as well, right? Let me put it on this chart. So in the last cycle, we also were all the way below here. We went all the way up here. We went down. Just like this cycle, it went all the way down here, all the way up here, and we went down, and then it hovered for a while, right? And we had these fake outs to the downside, to the upside, but overall it was in this zone right here for a couple of months, I think, maybe even a year, July 2018 to April 2019. And then we had our second leg down, right? And that's where altcoins crashed against Bitcoin even further. We could see something like that, right? I think I said it before, but we could see something like this, right? And then go down, right? So it might be that altcoins hold up pretty well against Bitcoin for now. Overall, let's give that to the altcoin market, right? Because the altcoin market has been completely wrecked against Bitcoin for this year. Altcoins has really been underperforming against Bitcoin. And yeah, a small, bounce right here. Why not? After it came down 50%, right? Let it have a 17% bounce. Yeah. I called Bitcoin to 5,000 by the year end. Now who looking like a freaking genius? Huh? 5,000 by year end? Now who looking like a freaking genius? I don't know what you mean, bro, but it's not at 5K though. Can you TA magic? it's quite hard because it's a newer coin. But I can take a look for you. Magic. Okay, so I'm looking at two things, right? Magic dollar, magic Bitcoin. Both look like shit. I can already tell you that, right? Why? It's under the bull market support band. Key support here broken, right? For its Bitcoin pair. Just made a lower low. So it's in price discovery to the downside. Magic dollar, kind of the same, right? Under the bull market support band. So yeah, it's hard to throw some TA at this, to be honest, because it's now 60 cents. It went to 50, right? But it can go to 30. It can go to 19. It can go to 11. It's really hard to say because it's new. We have no data really to work with. I don't even know if this thing is going to provide me with any useful information. If it stays at this level, it could have if altcoins do really well, let me put it like that, because a lot is needed for this, then it could definitely go back to 130. However, yeah, it can also go harder to the downside, and yeah, that's really hard to predict where it could go, because it's, I don't even know, man. It's really hard to tell. Let me see on the daily, is it a little more doable? In this trend right here, yeah, shorter term 70 cents probably for the upside, and yeah, the downtrend, it has been a downtrend all the time already, so it's really hard to chart this, in my opinion. There might be people that can chart this better than I can, but it's lower lows, lower highs. I would wait, at least if you ask this before you, because you want to buy it, I would say wait for it to stop making lower lows and lower highs, wherever that is, right? I mean, we are now in the process. It could go on forever. Thanks for the nice comments lately. I only bought a little Magic and Sui. The rest didn't crash enough for me. Hello and Altura are still too high. I agree that these two are pretty high still. Yeah, Magic, just took a look at that. Buying that is, well, it's a gamble. It's like eyes closed and buy it in the hope that it doesn't go any lower. Sui. Let me check out Sui. Sui USD, and let me check out Sui Bitcoin as well. So Sui looks the same as Magic basically. Price discovery mode to the downside also for Bitcoin. Yeah, you did buy some coins on a gamble, bro. Because you, like a coin, they do this, right? And you bought here, for example, but you do not know how far this goes down. Same case it does this, right? And your entry is here. I wouldn't recommend doing that, really. Yeah, like I said, Altura, hello, are quite high. I agree. Altura, it is having a little pullback right here, but it's like not even. But what I do notice about Altura is, it did it a couple of weeks ago as well, but it is going below its bull market support band, right? And we have to see, is this going to be a wick or is this not going to be a wick? I don't know. If I look at Altura on the longer time frame, then let me remove these. But yeah, no, definitely 2.4 cents, between 2.4 and 3 is definitely an area. If we break this, right, then it can definitely go there, and that would be a decent entry in my opinion. Yeah. So I will wait for that as well, because I also want some Altura, but I also think it's too high right now. Can you analyze GameFi? Good project. Yeah. GameFi is yeah, it's a crypto launchpad as well. Crypto launchpads right now are like pretty struggling, right? No new money coming into crypto in the first place. So no really new projects are getting released because they don't get funding unless they get a huge hype. But then most projects go to the top 1 launchpads, right? Like Seedify, Engine Starter, DAO Maker, Pools Finance. GameFi is somewhere in the top 10, but it's definitely not the best launchpad out there. And the price is terrible though. The price is constantly going down. It went from $194 to $180 since the bear market started. And this is one of the only projects, one of the few projects that doesn't have any form of relief, right? It keeps on putting in lower lows and lower highs. And can this thing go to 30 cents? I don't know how low this can go, man. To be honest, I don't know. It's in total price discovery mode. I want to buy some, but not for this price. Because I also wanted to buy a couple of months ago. And I'm happy I did not do that, because otherwise I would have lost a lot of money already. And maybe in a couple of months from now, I can say the same. So therefore, I want to wait for confirmation until it really starts showing some strength, right? So it's a dangerous coin, really. Crypto is garbage. Then you should not look at crypto channels. Maybe it's just a small tip right here. The bleeding will continue until November. Could be, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you base that on actually, but it could, right? I don't. If you're talking about Bitcoin or altcoin crash, I don't know if you talk about Bitcoin or altcoins, but yeah, when it comes to Bitcoin, it's really hard to say, man. Right? Like. In the last cycle, we had our final bottom in August, right? Or in the first cycle. In the last cycle, we had it in March, the year after. It's now August, right? Well, we are not near there yet. So how long it could bleed? I think that the rest of the year is probably pretty bearish, yeah. We would love to see your target for SNFTS also, not only S-Fund. Yeah, the thing is though that SNFTS is paired with S-Fund. If S-Fund crashes, SNFTS crashes. So I read a chart, S-Fund, because there's more data on it. And for Seedify S-Fund, I have this box right here. My target is between 44 cents and 26, give or take. Because we had this resistance here, as you can see, perfect. Here, support, here, support. Here support, and here we are breaking it. And even if it turns out to be a wick, it will be the first wick, because so far we always touched the line and we went up from there. So Seedify is showing relative weakness right now. Yeah, and therefore SNFTS is lower cap, but also less liquidity, right? So I don't know, this could crash extremely hard, but this is my, I spoiler this right now. This is going to be one of my biggest holdings if Seedify manages to survive the bear market. Then SNFTS is going to be one of my biggest holdings, probably the biggest. What they are building is so beautiful. They are doing such a great job. It is super low cap. $7 million, fully diluted 32 million, but we probably never get there. It's on the low building. This is the type of project that if you heard about it, you can consider yourself lucky. But it's now way too risky to call if it's a good buy or not. This thing will probably see new lows, but this is also the kind of project that I feel like, man, despite all my charting and all this and all that, I'm a DCA into this one. But yeah, I mean, it's $7 million market cap, right? Is this the low? Maybe. I don't think so. Could it go to $500,000 market cap? Could also be. Therefore, I don't really like to talk about these very small caps, really. Love that. Yeah, again, could GameFi reach $1? Yeah, easy. So far, it's pretty likely that it will. What do you think the markets will do when BRICS rolls out their gold-backed currency? I have no idea, man. Oh yeah. Hey, Fomo Factory, I think I asked it before, but would my coin not be classed as a security? It seems like it would fall in that category. yeah, it's a BEP20 token, and everybody that creates their own token basically created a security. But you know, if you keep it on the low, if you don't like go crazy and like hacks, right? Try to say like, yeah, this is the price going to be, and we're gonna make you rich and all of that. Yeah, then nothing should be really a problem. I would be honored if the SEC starts giving a fuck about me. I see a lot of bots about Ignite 3 or something like that. Please ignore that. As you can see, there are so much. I cannot even really delete all of that. I've learned more in 2 months watching your videos than watching BitBoy all daily, you know, for 2 years. I really appreciate that, bro. What is your opinion about Uniswap? Well, the project itself will probably stay, because Ethereum is there to stay, and it is the biggest DEX. They generate a lot of fees and revenue. The token itself, I won't invest in it. I don't really see Uniswap being something that ends up in my portfolio. When it comes to the price, let me remove everything and just start over right here. When it comes to the price, not really looking that good. Yeah. Look, it is sitting at some good support when it comes to Uniswap dollar, right? Let's be honest. If you around fucking this level, give or take, right? Support, resistance here, all support over here. So around $4, big support. But if it crashes down, then it can easily also go back to around 3.5 or so. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's in that golden zone now. If I look, I don't know. If I look at Uniswap Bitcoin, then there is a pretty clear bottoming process not too far from here, to be honest. 25% lower, right? It's not crazy far. I expect most altcoins to drop like 60+%. What the fuck is Pulse X doing, by the way? This thing is always crazy. Sorry, I had to. It stands out to me like down so much, crazy. Even the wicks down are green. The chart doesn't even get it anymore. Yeah, now Uni might be worth getting into it whenever it gets here on its Bitcoin pair around 1400 satoshis. But yeah, it's all really quite early now to call. Yeah, so be careful with that info. I'm still 100% in USDT. Occasionally I trade to get capital for my eventual investing. Yeah, I do think that 100% USDT is like, I never like being 100% in or 100% out of the market. It's all pretty risky, right? If you then I would choose to be in Bitcoin at least. A little bit, but I think it's better to stay on the dollar side right now than on the altcoin side, at least. That's for sure. Yeah, mostly stable. Had some alts, but moved it all to stables now, as this can go much lower. Yeah, I think a lot of people are pretty smart now when it comes to crypto, and they really start to see that being safe and not losing your money is also an important thing. All crypto is fucking shit. Investments for idiots. Looks like somebody missed out big time. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Someone said something about Benjamin Cohen, the only YouTuber, by the way, that is really killing it in this bull market, bear market. And he says, clown. I was like, why? One word, lengthening cycles. So I just commented, these are 2 words, man. But I'm not gonna argue with that. Like, but let me explain to you. If you are on YouTube as a crypto YouTuber, right, and you make content every day, in one video you say at least 2 or 10 things, right? Yeah, then make 600 videos in 2 years. You say 6,000 things. you're gonna bash someone if he gets one thing maybe not right? Like, come on, man. You cannot be in crypto for a week without getting something wrong. And some people are just pointing out that one thing anyway. I don't know. There's another YouTuber that called everything 100% accurate. And I can already guarantee you there will never be such a person as well. Ever. All right? Not me, not you, not anybody. All right? It's not possible. Come on. We don't have crystal balls here. We analyze stuff. And sometimes it works out. And sometimes it doesn't. Like, come on. It's okay. Yeah, these were the comments I would like to get over with. Some coins that I would like to check out myself for now. Still, like Moonbeam, again, I got a lot of shit for that, for saying that it will go lower. Eduardo. Hex as well. Really risky stuff to be in right now. Altcoin. Look, financial markets are now risky. Then you get into crypto, which is way more risky, right? Bitcoin. But if you get into the risky part of that risky financial assets, which is altcoins, then you are being completely risky. And then you have certain altcoins which are even way more risky because they don't have a use case or don't have good tokenomics or like whatever. Yeah, and then you come across such stuff, right? And that's why you notice that if you bought this all-time high was like 50 cents or so, right? And yes, it had a good run up at first as well, but then you also notice that it crashes extremely hard because some people bought there as well. And what happened? It went down 99.23%. So if you put $100 in, yeah, you would now have like 70 cents left. Congratulations, your money actually vanished. And it can still go way lower, right? So be a little careful with the altcoins that you are in at the moment. Especially now Bitcoin is also correcting. Can it go back up? Yeah, definitely it can go back up in the meantime, but it can also go down. And if that happens, yeah, a lot of altcoins don't have the room to go down anymore. BNB looks like, yeah, well, look. BNB can't use any form of downside anymore, or it's over. Sorry, but BNB is on the edge of getting completely fucking wrecked, and I mean $40 type of wrecked, right? I'm not saying that will happen, but it could definitely happen. Okay, now my own watch list for 2023, Cardano, for example. But yeah, again, if you look at Cardano Bitcoin, yeah, just going down, right? Just going down. Cardano dollar, yeah, was getting rejected, breakout, retest, but retest again. And, you know, you can draw this line like this, right? And Cardano can keep on retesting it. Right, and still go lower. I do think that Cardano at, well, 10 cents will be a good buy. If it gets there, right? Maybe it doesn't get there, but then what? Then I missed out. Maybe I buy some here, by the way, but I don't know. I'll see by then. But if it does get here, then it's a good buy. AVAX, my target $4, $5, give or take. Dogecoin, I don't really like Dogecoin, but yeah, it has the hype. However, Dogecoin also, it is very risky right now, really risky. And okay, I'll give them some room for here, right? Dogecoin has the room to go down to 4.8 cents. However, if it breaks that, there's nothing left. Okay, there's absolutely nothing left. And then it slides out for Dogecoin. It could easily from there fall another 85%. And Ethereum is not looking so good. It had a lot of support here, a lot of resistance here. It broke, it found it as support, but now it looks like it is breaking. And Ethereum, in my humble FOMO-ish opinion, 1200, 800, give or take. It could even test this line here, right? It could test that line, and that can come together right here. I don't know. Ethereum, very careful. Gala, almost at new lows again. So yeah, likely to get there. I mean, when you look at the Bitcoin pair, it's already making new lows, right? Compared to where we had the previous low. Yeah, the Bitcoin valuation was 30% higher, while we are now, well, on the dollar pair it was lower, right? So it all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is going down, altcoins find lower lows. Very simple. Delysium had a small pump, but it's slowly fading again back to where it came from, and this was all for nothing when you were an investor, at least, right? If you're a trader, you could have made a good trade out of this, but Delysium, yeah, nah, back to $39 probably. Games for a living, uptrend, starts to look like a distribution phase to me. I would wait for it. IMX. IMX. Pff. Yeah, I think this is going to be it. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's really showing more weakness here than it did over here or here, and there are lower lows, right? You can obviously see that it's not going to be perfect, but the lows are lower. Right, low. IMX really showing weakness right now. Matic, by the way, is something that I would be really careful with. Okay, really careful, because there should be our accumulation phase uptrend, big ass distribution phase. Yeah, Matic on its Bitcoin pair. If you are a Matic bull, you better hope that the Bitcoin dominance is never going up from here. Let me put it like that. Matic is going to get absolutely destroyed. Yeah, 4 times as low is my most bullish target for Matic. Right, that you here we have this resistance support here. That's the first and only level for Matic. Otherwise, it's here, and that's another. Yeah, that's lights out for Matic. And the dollar pair doesn't look that different, right? We have slightly more room right here, but yeah, then we can see Matic go down pretty hard. 10 cents, maybe. Nakamoto Games is still having some room to go down towards 35 cents. Volk Forged. Not looking that great. You could say like, oh, it's going sideways, but yeah, then again, if you look at the Bitcoin pair, yeah, lower lows, lower highs. Although we had this wick, still a low high. Chainlink is something that I'm pretty interested in, and Chainlink you could also say, right? Like, okay, we had the uptrend, we had the distribution phase, we had the downtrend, and now we are in a accumulation phase. But if I look at its Bitcoin pair, then I don't see anything else but a big ass downtrend, right? Isn't this just a beautiful downtrend? And how we just got rejected this week again, right? So and usually these patterns play out to the upside. Right, so usually you will eventually see something like this. Well, not maybe that high, but you see something like that, right? But it doesn't mean that it cannot go down first another 34% on its Bitcoin pair. And if Bitcoin also goes down, yeah, then it's easy down 60% on Matic dollar, right? Matic USD. And yeah, if that happens, right, then you could say, oh yeah, here this area, right, somewhere between $1.50 and $3 could be an interesting area for the final bottoming progress for Chainlink. I mean, it makes sense if you look at this whole area right here as well, right? We could end up there. I'm gonna leave this here for future videos, just to see if it gets there, right? To see if it gets there. Yeah, and if I have to give a time to that, I would say, yeah, anywhere from here, by the way, until March 2024. Don't pin me to this. Of course not. I'll probably not be right about this because this is something very specific when it comes to price and time. But still, my thesis is that it could get down here. Yeah, I kind of see that happen. Couple to wrap it up. Solana, by the way. Yeah. If Solana sees new lows again, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But back to around $12, maybe 15, very likely. I'm having a short open on Solana, by the way. Very small leverage, 2x, I think. So it's not even possible really for me to get liquidated on that one. So I'm gonna just leave it open and see what happens. Solana on its Bitcoin pair. Yeah, it was in a clear downtrend right here, as you can see, right? It broke. But again, a downtrend can always look like this. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, breakout, and down, 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 down. And eventually you will see new lows anyway, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean anything. We want to see higher highs and then bounce off of that level. And that's when I really get bullish on it, right? That's when I get bullish on an asset. So Solana, yeah, still has a long way to go. I mean, it first has to go up with another 34% on its Bitcoin pair, then break out and retest that level. Otherwise, it's just possible that if it goes up that much, it gets rejected right here and we still go down. Solana, for the time being, still pretty bearish. Superverse, yeah, bearish. Cannot say anything else, right? Like, I mean, it's lower lows this week, right? Maybe even today, I don't know, but a couple of days ago. So now Superverse doesn't look good on its dollar pair. Yeah, it's already sitting at the lows, right? So it's one little hit and it lights out as well. Ultra has some room. Fucking hell. Ultra has some room to go down, but not much. I mean, it's like 13% on its Bitcoin pair. And then, yeah, also not looking that good. VRA has way more room, luckily. But if it breaks, then, yeah, goes down hard. On its Bitcoin pair, last support as well. Therefore, it could go down hard on its dollar pair, right? Because if this breaks, yeah, then it has a long way to go down. And on its dollar pair, it could definitely mean that we will see prices of, what is this, 55%? Nah, yeah, something like that, 50% lower or way lower. So that's something that I'm looking at. Engine starter I'm really into, but sorry, less entertaining video this, by the way, but I'm just looking like how I'm usually looking when I turn off the camera. Engine starter, where did I draw this? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I don't know. Engine starter doesn't look that great to me. We must hold this 0.003. Otherwise, we can go down pretty fast. It has been one of the stronger performances, so that's for sure. But it's now showing that weakness, right? So I don't know. It's not looking that good. Chain GPT, I'm shorting this. Which was quite funny because one of the Chain GPT team members came into the chat and he said like, we went up, your short is wrecked or something like that. But my short was already open before I said it and I made pretty decent trade out of that. Not because I don't like the project, we have a back, but nah, it pumped so hard. Come on, I had to short this, right? Doesn't matter what asset it is. No, no hate there. But Chain GPT, man, it had a really good pump right here. It had a really good pump, but this was too much, right? And I don't know what this is as well. But Chain GPT, it could get back to 6, 7 cents. Yeah, 7 cents, right? Makes a lot of sense to get back there, 7.3, give or take. Overall, I think that, you know, a lot of token investing going on. And even projects, altcoins right now, without that token investing are getting completely wrecked. So in that case, I expect ChainGPT to get pretty wrecked as well. Long video, right? But, you know, fuck that. Yeah, let's leave it here. Guys, these are a couple of things that I'm currently looking at. If you want to check me out, more altcoins, let me know. Shout out again to the Patreon people right there. They're learning a lot. Trade with me, I would say, and let's make some money off of this market. I'm tired. Bye.